أرحب بكل واحد موجود اليوم في السيشن ويانا. معكم أخوكم ندى الديحاني، أنا مدير عام مركز صباح الأحمد للموهبة والإبداع. سعيد اليوم للأمانة أن نكون باستضافة الجامعة المرموقة جونز هوبكنز للنقاش ومعرفة جميع المراحل الخاصة دخول الطلبة إلى البرامج الإثرائية الخاصة بالجامعة. حبيت أرحب بكل يعني كل اللي حاضرين، وبإذن الله يكون سيشن يعني نستفيد منه كلنا جميعا. أختنا أبرار هي اللي راح تكون مسؤولة عن السيشن، وفي حال أي استفسارات أو أي أسئلة في إيميل موجود للجامعة، في إيميل موجود للمركز. إذا كانت استفساراتكم للمركز تقدرون توجهونها لإيميل المركز، وإذا كان استفساراتكم للجامعة تقدرون ترسلونها إلى إيميل الجامعة. بس بطلب من زميلنا جازمن إذا يحط الإيميلات المختصة للجامعة والإيميلات المختصة للمركز في حال بعد المحاضرة إذا كان في أحد عنده أي استفسار أو أي سؤال. أعتقد المايك عندك أختي أبرار، وموفقين في محاضرة اليوم إن شاء الله. مشكورين.
Hello everyone, my name is Sabah Abdullah. I'm the junior officer at Sabah Al Ahmad Center for Giftedness and Creativity, which is a subsidiary of the Kuwait Foundation for the Advancement of Science. I would also like to welcome Beatrix from the Johns Hopkins University. I would like to welcome you all in the Johns Hopkins CTY Academic Summer Program. I'd like to start first by saying this is our second year here in SAC-GC launching the Enrichment Global Program. It's a great chance for the students to empower and develop their knowledge in the different criteria of academia. This is going to be a full paid scholarship from the SAC-GC. The only difference this year in the Enrichment Global Program is that SAC-GC is offering 10 spots for the qualified applicants. They're going to be chosen from the SAC-GC community. And before I give the mic to Beatrix, I would like to take you to the cycle of this CTY program. I'll just share the screen with you. Okay, so first we have the application cycle. We're going to start by the first phase, which is the calling for the CTY applicants from November. This phase already started. Now we are in the second phase, which is the virtual info session held by SAC-GC and CTY. Third phase is CTY applicants. Part one is submitting your joint CTY application and completing your online SCAT and obtain qualifying math score for admission. This is going to be explained more by Beatrix. We have the CTY application part two, submit OCP application for course assignment, which Johns Hopkins will be elaborating on this phase. The fifth phase is the confirmation of qualifying applicants by CTY. The sixth phase is the selection of the top 10 qualifiers by SAC-GC, which I just mentioned before. We have the last seventh phase, which is the final virtual sessions for the approved applicant held by SAC-GC and CTY. If you would like to know more information about the application, the terms and conditions, you can join the link in our Instagram. It's SAC-GC_KW. There's a link in the bio. You can access it and it will take you to this page. You can find it also in the chat here in the Zoom, or you can email us at the ge@sacgc.org. It's also written in the chat, and we'll be accepting any questions at the end of the Zoom session. You can enter your question in the chat at the end. And from here, I'd like to give the mic to Beatrix to talk about the program. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here today. And thank you for joining us. And thank you for considering CTY too. So now let me just take over the screen. As shared by the SAC team just now, we are CTY. We are part of the Johns Hopkins University. So even though you might not have heard about CTY before today, I hope you have at least heard about Johns Hopkins. Johns Hopkins is huge in Maryland in the US. We run hospital, institutions, and many other organizations too. But when it comes to the university, we are actually very famous in various fields such as science and engineering and medical science as well. Medical school is actually top, not just in the US, but top of the world. You can easily Google more about our university, but today we're not going to talk too much about the university, but instead, Johns Hopkins Center for Talented Youth Programs. So since you might be new to CTY and CTY is new to you, allow me to share this video with you. And this video will share with you who we are and whom we serve. And then later on, we'll come back to talk about today's agenda. Okay, so as shared in the video just now, we are part of the Johns Hopkins University and we're a gifted education provider. We were founded in 1979, and so this is actually our 45th anniversary this year. And starting from that day when we were founded, we have been doing this talent search to identify talents. In partnership with organization, university, and here in Kuwait, we partner with SAC to identify talented students just like yourself and provide to these students and families programs and service. At CTY, our programs are not for everyone, but for the right type of students, that is the high ability students, the learning experience could be transformational. So when you go to school, you receive in-grade education, really materials designed for your own grade. But when you come to CTY, we provide to you acceleration, allowing you to study at a much faster way and also dive deeper than anything else you can experience back at school, while really truly experience a different types of learning and be the best that you can be. And at CTY, we have two major core of programs. We have online programs which happened all year round, allowing students to join from different parts of the world, but this is not our focus today. We also have on-campus summer programs which happened in person in the US during the summer, and that is what we're going to talk about. So today's focus is very simple. Since this sponsorship will be only for on-campus summer programs, so we will talk about this program, and then later on we will continue to talk about testing and eligibility. That is what you saw in the previous slide, step 2, how to submit your application to get started with us, get tested, and also obtain the eligibility for the next steps. And then some final questions. As we're going to introduce you the on-campus summer programs, I'm going to play to you another video, and this time the video will contain pictures and also some other information regarding what happened on campus during the summer in the US. Since this video is for students as young as in grade 2, so you might see some information for younger ones. But don't worry, when we come back, I will capture some of the key features for older students just like yourself. But this will give you a good idea about what would happen during the summer.
At CTY, summertime means having more freedom to find what fascinates us and dive deep into topics we love. For our students, that means having more time to have fun exploring their favorite topics in math, science and engineering, history, writing, computer science, and more. For every advanced learner, there's a CTY on-campus programs course that will fuel their curiosity, build their skills, and keep them learning what they love. CTY has small class sizes, and our instructors actively engage students in their learning. Our rigorous, fresh, and fun courses accelerate and enrich students through lively discussions and hands-on projects, activities, and labs, helping them explore topics that may not be offered at school. Best of all, when students come to CTY, they join a community of learners and intellectual peers, make lifelong friendships, and develop social skills that prepare them for college and beyond. Our 3-week, day and residential programs for students in grades 2 through 12 are held at campuses across the U.S. At our day sites, students in grades 2 through 6 attend classes each morning. Lunch is provided. They spend the afternoons working on projects or labs and having lively discussions, followed by fun outdoor activities. At our residential sites, for grades 5 through 12, students attend classes each morning, break for lunch and outdoor time, then head back for more engaging class time. Afternoons include supervised activities, followed by dinner in the dining hall. There is an evening class session. Then students have time to relax and hang out with friends. Weekends at CTY can include talent shows, dances, carnivals, and movie nights. And while your child is busy learning and making friends, you can rest assured that they're in good hands. Every class is led by an instructor and a teaching assistant, and sites are staffed with administrators, academic counselors, a site nurse, and health assistant. Students are supervised during class, meals, and social activities. All staff have undergone background checks and a rigorous interview and training process. Ready to explore what CTY has to offer your child? Visit our website, email us, and find us on social media. We hope to see you this summer.
So as you learned from the video just now, at CTY, our on-campus summer programs are open for students as young as in grade 2. But coming to this, if you want to get the sponsorship, of course, you will have to miss the age requirements on the SAC end. Well, but still, you will have to be under 18 before September 1st next year in order to be part of the programs. And when students come to us, they will have to choose one topic based on their qualifying score and also their interest. And then they would do this one topic for 3 whole weeks because that's just how long the programs will be. And I can give you some numbers to work on. Among older students, they will have about 7 hours of learning every day. So from Monday to Friday, and then 3 weeks all together, that will be over 100 hours on that single topic. And they will be able to learn a lot about that topic. The good thing is, especially among older students, when they start to consider college application, we often see that they struggle. Not that they struggle because they don't have the ability to do anything, it's just that they don't know what is best for them. The reason is they have never got the kind of exposure which allowed them to know much enough to tell the differences. So here at CTY, once you're eligible, you can actually choose a topic according to your ability and also your interest. And that will be college level kind of materials. Once you have done that 3 week, you will know so much that will allow you to tell whether or not you like it. If you like it, that's great. You can just come back or go elsewhere to specialize in that stream, really help you to attain your goal ultimately, perhaps at college or even in career-wise. And if you don't like it, that could be even better because it's an exploration and you don't have to wait until you get to college to learn about that. And the information that you get through those 3 weeks will really help you when it comes to such as admission interview or even personal statements. So all combined will really will have a lot of benefits for advisor learner, especially those in high school years too. And since through this scholarship, through this sponsorship, you will be joining us as a residential student, I will share more with you about what would happen next. Anyhow, for CTY, we do have sites along the East Coast and West Coast, as you have just watched in the video, but then this sponsorship will send you directly to our home campus, that is Johns Hopkins in Maryland. And in order to start with us, you will have to first test or submit existing score to qualify for admission. In Kuwait, we understand that you take the sort of test that we don't recognize just yet. So strictly speaking, to start with us, you will have to take our own test. And I will talk about what kind of test that will be in the later half of the session. Sorry. There are indeed a lot of benefits about our programs, but just to give you a few examples, first off is our class sizes are very small. Well, among older students, it will be around 15, no more than 20. And as shared in the video just now, in each class, there will be a subject matter expert whom we call the instructor and a teaching assistant. They're all hired centrally and undergone a very thorough background check, including their qualification. We make sure that they have the advisor degree in that subject area, have tons of experience working with advisor learner, and will be able to communicate well for that given grade level as well. So we make sure that we pair you up with the person that will be able to help you be the best that you can be. And due to this small group size, we will be able to challenge the student individually and appropriately as well. So even though you go into the same class, it doesn't mean that you will all be doing the same thing. We have regular assessment from the beginning throughout the entire course period towards the end to allow us to understand more about where you are and in order to meet your needs as well. We give you constant feedback, and that sort of feedback will not just be seen during the program, but also in the final evaluation. So after the course completion, you will be able to get a certificate from us, and on the top of that, you will also be able to get a narrative evaluation reports. The reports will contain lots of information such as where your strengths are, where you can explore more, and even recommendation for future coursework. So that could really help you, and you can even add to your portfolio for college application one day. And furthermore is, besides working with the instructor, you also get the chance to work with other students from different parts of the world who are equally bright and sometimes even brighter. So since you will be applying directly into Johns Hopkins, let me just show you, in case you don't know where we are. We're actually right here in the East Coast, 3 hours ride from New York and 2 hours from Washington, D.C. So once you get admitted into the program with the sponsorship, we will work closely with SAC to arrange your flight and also the pickup as well. So you don't have to worry about the logistic piece of it. And as for each site, they actually have 2 sessions. Each sessions are the same, only different in timing. So for all of you, you will be joining our second session that will start on July 14 and end by August 2nd. Well, this is last year date. This year, we might start a little earlier or later around those days too. So this is a good reference for you. So this is a typical daily schedule. Well, you have seen quite a bit already in the video, but since it is a residential programs, so of course we include all meals. All meals will be included and the class could run until the evening. It sounds really long, but don't worry, there will be lots of hands-on activities and also group interactions, debate, projects, research, and if you are signed up for a science course, you might as well be doing experiments in the lab as well. And well, in the past, international parents would tend to send their kids away with a mobile phone to call home just before lights out and bedtime. And experience told us that they will only be calling home in the first few days, and then after the first week, they just disappear. Not that you're unsafe or anything, it's just that you are too busy, too engaged, and I hope that you're just too happy and that you forget home altogether. So as for parents, if it really happens, you don't have to worry because you can always contact our site office and our people will know exactly where they are and what they're up to, and will also be able to help you convey the message to the student as well. And over the weekend, you won't be having classes, but instead you will have time to make friends outside of your class class and really join various kind of activities as you wish. And we will make time for you to do the laundries, to really live like a boarding school students, learning to be independent, living away from home for 3 weeks. And well, before because this is the basic of our summer programs, and I want to also talk about how you should get started with us, how to do the tests and such. And before we do, I just want to share with you one video. Well, last year we have students coming through SAC to join us at Baltimore, Johns Hopkins, but I think the student is busy today, so he's unable to share his experience. But we do have some students who talk about their thoughts and their feeling and feedback. And here is one of them. He's Hayden, who did our summer programs back in 2023 at the Lancaster site. Our staff just interviewed him, and this is what he said.
I'm Hayden Chung. I'm from Engle Cliffs, New Jersey, and I'm taking Principles of Engineering. Like in school, we don't go as in depth. Like here, we're learning like much more complicated things than we learn in school. I just like meeting new people, like going in the quad, playing volleyball with new people. That's like my favorite part of the day. I'm surprised, like people think the same way I do. Like I'm surprised because that's never happened to me before. Like it's just a new experience.
Tell me an example about that.
Like when we're working on like math problems, I'm not used to people finishing before I do. So like it's just new.
This kind of experience could happen from time to time on the campus because all of our students, even though they come from different parts of the world, they go through the same identification process. That is the testing, which I'm going to talk about in just a bit. And in order to come in, they will have to all meet the same admission requirements, meaning that even though they have varying ability, it will be within a certain range. They will all be equally bright or sometimes slightly brighter than one another, which is really important because when it comes to advisor program and gifted educations, we believe that the best that you can learn is not just from the subject matter expert, that is the instructor, but also people who are just like you, who think like you, who will be able to kind of spark your interest and share the love of learning together too. And I'm sorry that I just skipped one slide just now, so allow me to come back to talk about the topics. Because previously we mentioned that during the summer programs, you get to choose one topic and you can choose according to your qualifying level and also your interest. At CTY, all the topics are categorized into 2 major domains. We have math, science, computer science, engineering, and technology. All of that will require qualifying score in the math assessment. On the other hand, we also have humanity, writing, language arts, and all of those will require qualifying score in your verbal assessment. With SAC, you can only get the sponsorship to get into math, science, and engineering related topics. And at GHU, these are the topics available. Well, this list of course offering will be updated next week. So come back to our website again to find out more next week. That's the time when you get to see the final choices. But this is a pretty good start because very likely we will have these topics again. So it really depends on where your interest is. If you're interested in science, you don't come to us to just do physics, chemistry, or biology, but you really can choose something as specific as astrophysics. And if you're interested in engineering, we also got some choices for you. On the other hand, if you're interested in math, you don't just do algebra, geometry, calculus, but instead you can really apply it to your daily use by studying, let's say, our competitive behavior, macro and microeconomies. So now finally, back to how to get started. So in order to enroll, first and foremost is you will have to take a test. That is our identification process. Here, the testing is not for us to label the student, but for us to understand more about where they are academically so that we can challenge them appropriately and put them at the right level to start with. Because after all, at CTY, we just got so many different choices. We need to know whether or not you are ready for such kind of acceleration. So at CTY, besides the different domains, we are previously we mentioned that if you need to get into our math, science, and engineering domain, you will have to have qualifying score in a math session. Besides the domain, well, the score can also tell us like how fast you can learn. And at CTY, there are 2 qualifying levels. We have CTY level, which suggests that you can learn at 2 grades above than your current grade level at the school. And we also have advanced CTY level, which suggests that you can learn at 4 grades or above than your current grade level at the school. So here you might ask, what if I'm in high school year already? What does it mean by +2 or +4? So +2 will be more enrichment based, something which is more related to your daily life, more easy to understand and relate to. On the other hand, if you go for advanced CTY, it will be a blend of acceleration and enrichment. So you will go much faster when compared to the CTY level courses. Anyhow, once you're qualified, you will know where to start. And this is just some basic information for your reference. To start, you will have to take a test, as said, and there are many different testing options, but for you in particular, you will be taking what we call the online SCAT. And I will show you some example now. So you can find out more about the different testing options on our websites, but since you will be doing online SCAT, come to testing and then search for online SCAT and click learn more. Here you will get to know what this test is about. Do make sure to check out this page before you sign up for the test, because even though we do not encourage heavy preparation before the test, it is important for you to know the format. Because in this test, there are 2 sections, verbal and math. Well, verbal has nothing to do with this sponsorship, but you will still have to take it. So you can take it at ease. If it turns out to be good, then that's great. It is for your reference. But most importantly, it's about the math sessions. So after the verbal session, you will have a break and then you will come back to do the math session. And in the math session, there will be 15 multiple choices to be completed in 20 minutes. So time is crucial. And that's why we also have some sample questions here for your reference. So all of you, since you're in high school years already, you will be taking advanced SCAT with questions designed for a high schooler. And in this sample test, there are only 10 questions in each session, but that will be good enough for you to know the basic about how the questions will be asked. So in the math session, you will be given 2 sets of numbers. You will have to do some calculation and then compare which is bigger and then make your choice accordingly. There is an answer key at the bottom for your reference and check. So this is all you need to do before signing up for the test. So once you got the test, once you qualify in a math session, then you can go on and just go back to the application cycle as shared by Zach before. But before anything further, let me also show you where to submit the application and register for the test too. My apologies, because I'm recovering from a cold. So let me just show you how to submit the application, because it's important to know that. So before anything further, after today, if you're interested, this is what you need to do. Come back to our homepage, click Get Started. Right here is where you submit your joint CTY application to become our member. This is the very first step before anything further and before your test. It is $60 to become our member. It will have to be paid on self-financing basis. And then once you click join, you're filling some information and then you will be given the access to your My CTY account. Your My CTY accounts will have everything that you need. And let me just show you how it looks like. So let's say you have done this joint CTY application already. You get a confirmation email with your login ID. Then you come back to the home page and sign in here. You should sign in as a parent because parents would give you greater access rights, including payment and how you should register for the test. And here is where you put on the login ID. If it is your first time doing this, you will also have to set up your password. After that, you come to this page, and next is, after joining CTY, you will have to register to test. So you can just click this button, register now. After clicking it, you will read some terms and conditions, and then you will also have to pay for the testing fee. The testing fee is $60. So this is just some information pre-populated for you based on your application submitted previously. You can change it as needed. And then afterwards, you just register and you can start the test anytime as you wish and do it from anywhere too. And then you will, you can just start accordingly. After the test, in about 7 to 10 days, you receive a confirmation email. And after you receive the confirmation email, you just come back to my CTY portal, and here, right underneath testing and participation, you will get to see whether or not you qualify. If you qualify, you should be able to see that under your math section, you are qualified at either CTY or advanced CTY level. Any one level would do. And then that will be the time when we will work with SAC to contact you and then help you process the rest. So this is the basic. So make sure join CTY, go through to my CTY account, register to test, and then submit your testing score. And then later on, we will do the program applications and guide you through the rest of the process. If you have any questions after today, any questions regarding the sponsorship and so, please make sure to contact SAC. But if you have any specific questions regarding CTY, such as the tests or the programs, you can feel free to contact us by email. And I will also send you a follow-up email with my contact information there after today too. And thank you so much again for considering CTY. I might just turn the time back to SAC and the team to see if they have anything to add to what I said just now, and then we can open the floor to receive some questions. Thank you,
Beatrix. Thank you for your time.
No, I love my pleasure.
I'll just have some questions. I'll take you through them.
Yes.
Someone is asking if do they need to take the test if they have done the SAT?
Yes, they will have to. Well, since we recruit students from different parts of the world, we have to standardize the process, making sure that everyone coming into the program has met our admission requirements. So that's why they will still have to take a separate test, and the test is called online SCAT.
Okay, great. Another question is the IELTS test required?
Sorry, what is required?
The IELTS test?
IS test.
The IELTS. The IELTS.
Oh, no. We don't need an additional test. Okay. So IELTS test, no need. So our test, well, even though we do not have any English assessment tests, during the online SCAT, you will only be tested on two things. One is your verbal reasoning skill, and the other is the math reasoning skills, and nothing further. No oral, no essay or anything. But coming into our program, you need to make sure that you are proficient in English, because everything will be US based and conducted in English. And since it is an advanced program, you will be taught way faster than your age would suggest. So you will have to not only learn completely in English, but also learn it at a really fast way and learn materials which could be really in-depth. So that's why you need to have that expectation. But rest assured is, since we have students coming from so many different places, sometimes English is not their first language. We do have teaching assistant, and we also have counselor who will be able to help the student every now and then to make sure that they will be able to adjust well. But with our advised learner, very often they will just be shy in the beginning. After a couple of days, they will be pretty much able to just work along well with everyone else.
Great, thank you. There's another question. Do you need the PSAT scores? Also, is there any GPA requirements?
Oh, that is a good question. We do actually recognize PSAT for admission, but let me show you how it is. So CTY recognize many different testing options. We have our own test called online SCAT if you don't have any other testing results that we recognize. But then PSAT ACT and SAT are actually some of the tests that we do recognize. So I know that since you're a high schooler, you might as well be thinking about applying for college and might as well be taking some of these tests. If you have already got this test, then that's good. Then this is what you need to do next. So come back to the testing page, and here, very tiny one, already have score, click in, and put in your score here. So you can select what sort of test you have taken. In your case, it might be PSAT, and then you will have to enter the date that you have taken this test. It could be this month or previously, any day would do, and then the grade level that you were in when the test was taken, and also the score that you have. And then once you put all of them in, we will calculate whether or not you have obtained the eligibility required for admission. If the answer is a yes, then you can just use your PSAT, SAT, or ACT result for direct admission. There is no need for further testing. You do not have to pay another $60 to do our online scans.
Great. Someone is asking, can I change my program in the first week?
Well, with summer programs, the flexibility is lesser. You can do that with our online programs, but then for summer programs, we often don't allow that. In very rare occasions, if it really is a misfit, we might be able to do that, but you need to make sure that you voice that out as soon as possible in the first 1 or 2 days. Here is the reason. First off is our class size are very small. So once after we have received all the application, we have already prepared way ahead of time to do the hiring, to prepare the resources, and so we don't have anything extra, no extra suppliers to support any other students outside of the class. So it limits the possibility of internal transfer. And then second of all is since we teach very quickly, every day you are learning almost like a week of materials. If you only do the switch, the transfer after the second day, you miss a whole week of content already. It would be very challenging and difficult for you to catch up. And last but not least is that's also the reason why we have the admission test in place to make sure that you have the ability to manage the materials, and we also provide academic advising. So if you have any questions, you don't know where your interest is, or maybe you don't know where to start or how to choose the course, you're more than welcome to come and talk to me or our team. We'll be able to help you pick the most best fits for you. Hopefully all of this combined will be able to help you choose the right course so that you won't end up needing with a need to do any kind of transfer, because that would not be a pleasant experience either.
Great, Beatrix, I will emphasize on the questions, like the basic questions, like when is the deadline to apply?
Well, honestly, internal switch is officially not allowed. But I have seen in the past that there is 1 or 2 students who might be able to make that switch if they inform us early enough. By early, I mean as soon as they got into the course, after a half day or even a full day, they tell us already. And when they tell us, we will try to work with the instructor and also the teaching assistant to really assess what the students think is true, because sometimes the student feel like, oh, it might be too difficult or too easy. That's totally okay, because our instructor will be able to adjust the content in such a way so that it will challenge the students and so that they will also be able to manage. So after that adjustment, usually they don't have to switch at all. But then if we see that it's true, the student has already done all of this, and we see that there is less likelihood for any of this change, then the instructor will also recommend for a transfer. And with the instructor support, and if we see that there is any possible space in a class of his or her next interest, then we might be able to make that switch. But since there is so much factor that will have to work in order to make it possible, I would say that I would say for now, don't think about internal transfer. Only if it really happens that you're really struggling, and so then you will have to tell the site office as soon as possible. By as soon as possible, that is within the first day.
Great, Beatrix, thank you. Someone is asking if they need to do the IGCSES test.
No, because IGCSE is a subject test and we don't consider subject tests. We consider tests that will help us assess their reasoning skills. So IGCSE is not our recognized test for admission.
Let me check if there's any repeated questions. Okay, Beatrix, I think we're done with the questions. For the attendees, if you have any more questions, we can visit our website that's written in the chat is sacgc.org, or send your question on the email ge@sacgc.org. Also, you can, if anything regarding the CTY program, you can email it at ctyinfo@jhu.edu. I would like to thank Beatrix for her time and the Johns Hopkins University. Thanks for the participants, and good luck for everyone applying.
Yeah, thanks for the team and thank everyone for joining us. We really hope that we will be able to see you in our program at Johns Hopkins this summer. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Beatrix. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.